Welcome to Up to the Minute. We've got your HCC news and information. I'm Todd Duplantis. It's Thursday, May the 14th, 2020. Glad to have you with us this morning. We're also appreciative to have Brittany Pacheco, who joins us from, I believe you're at your parents' house today, Brittany.
That's correct, Todd. Decided to change it up just a little bit, break the monotony of being at my house in the nerd room all day long. But thank you everyone who's joining us on Facebook Live. We appreciate you being here. Be sure to like our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. And don't forget to head over to YouTube because we do have thousands of videos at your disposal, all produced by our very own HCCTV. So subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to also share this podcast. That way we can grow our audience.
Well, Brittany, you know what today is? It's May the 14th. You know why that's significant?
No, I don't know why it's significant.
Because we left the college for spring break around the 13th.
That's true.
We've been doing this for 2 months now. 2 months we've been out of the buildings and working remotely. It's hard to believe 2 months. A sixth of the year has gone by. Can you believe that?
Yes. Now I can. It took 84 years to get out of January, and it feels about the same amount of time from when we left the office to now. So yes, I now can't believe that.
Okay, well, there you go. We'll be back with Brittany with more in a few moments. We've got some special guests today. Did you know that HCC has its own version of Shark Tank? You like the TV show? We're going to talk about the HCCS edition of it. We've got Dr. Angela Anderson. She's joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. And we've also got Ruth Salisbury, and you're an instructor with the Speech, Communications, and Sign Language Department for HCC Southwest. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are all of you doing today?
Very good. And we're going to hear more about the Shark Tank. Very interesting. If you like Shark Tank on ABC, you're going to love the HCC version. We've got that coming up. But first, a very special guest joining us, Dr. Monique Umphrey, the president of HCC Northeast. Welcome to the show. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Todd.
We're glad to have you here with us. We've got, before I get to some questions for you, I want to congratulate you because you've been named as a panelist for something called the National Treasures Virtual Graduation for First Generation Leaders Up Today and Tomorrow. Tell us about this event because it's coming up, I believe, tomorrow.
Yes, it'll be tomorrow. So this is the first national celebration of first generation college graduates. So they decided so many colleges have either postponed graduation or might be doing different alternative graduation events. They wanted to do one event to celebrate all of our first generation college students across the country. And we had a technical dry run today, and I was saying that we had shared the link with our students here, with all of our first generation college students. And they were saying that it's really open to any students that want to celebrate the achievements of these first generation college students as we look to build community and to help all of the first generation students understand that they're not alone. And so this is really a celebration of their resilience and their perseverance, and also to help them understand that they're not alone in this struggle, and there are so many people who celebrate their accomplishments.
Well, Dr. Umphrey, we're very proud of you, and we're looking forward to seeing that. And for those of you who are interested in joining Dr. Umphrey and all the graduates tomorrow, the first generation graduates, you can join them through a link. We're going to post that in our social media. We have an ad running in social media for us. So after this show, just look in our social media and you will find the link posted with the show. I want to, we just mentioned a few moments ago, can you believe it's been 2 months since spring break started and we left. Can you believe that much time has gone by, Dr. Umphrey?
I didn't realize it until we have a virtual coffee break at Northeast, and our hospitality cheerleader, that's what we call her, Linda Davis, we sent out an update for this week because we've done different things this week to help people keep their motivation levels up and just to keep the morale up and help people understand that we're still a community, even though you may not see each other every day. We're all a part of this big HCC family. And so we've had different events. And when she sent out reminders about what we've done over the last 8 weeks, that was a tangible thing. Yeah, it has been 2 months. It's the great thing is it's gone by quickly because we've done such amazing work over this time. But the challenge is the days tend to blur into each other and the weeks tend to blur into each other if you're not careful.
It sure does. We talk about that every day, whether it's Friday or Monday. Does it even matter anymore? Because it seems like we're working all the time just to make sure we have everything online for our students. And, getting prepared when we left for spring break, we kind of knew something may happen, but really everything started shutting down during that week, and big decisions had to be made on the course the college was going to take. How large of an undertaking was it for you and your staff to be preparing to then go to online courses almost immediately within a couple of weeks?
Well, the first thing that I would say is never before have we been so collaborative as an HCC family. I know last week was my 1-year anniversary with the college, so I'll preface it by saying I've been a part of the HCC family for a year. But as I've talked to other members who have been with HCC 15, 20, 40 years, they said never before have they seen us work, been this tightly aligned and tightly coupled in our work. So as you said, you were asking, what have we done at HCC Northeast? I have to say, what have we done at HCC? Because there were very few times when it was just the Northeast administrative team working together. So many times we were working lockstep with Vice Chancellor for Instruction, our Chief Academic Officer, or the Vice Chancellor for Student Services. Dr. Graves has done an amazing job. Dr. Perez has done an amazing job working with the campus presidents to ensure that we produce the highest quality learning environment for our students. I love the fact that everybody has been focused on making sure that our most vulnerable students were considered in our decisions. When I think about the volume of the amount of work that we had to do, we had 7,000 sections that had to be converted. And people, when I talk to people outside and I talk to my peers at other colleges, their eyes sort of boggle. They were like, you had how many sections? I don't think people understand the scale and the scope of the work that we had to do in order to accomplish what we did. And the fact that we were able to be ready when we made that transition. And also with that, it's making sure that the students had a strong learning environment and also making sure that our faculty felt supported during that. So our faculty did an amazing job, rising to this challenge, because if we had been given a year to plan for this, it would have been a gargantuan task. Sure. But the fact that everybody came together and our faculty were so willing, and we had some faculty who stood up, and those that had more experience teaching in an online environment, they helped their peers. I had the benefit, I had taught for 8 years and 6 of those have been online. So I was able to understand. I'm not telling you to do something that I don't understand about the challenges, but I'm telling you something that I've lived through. And if you've never had to teach in an online environment, there are different considerations that you have to take into account as a faculty member. So I'm very proud of the fact that we were able to support them during this transition. And as I mentioned to some of my students earlier today, it's the difference with COVID versus, you've heard some other leaders talk about, they pulled out their playbook from 9/11 or Katrina or Harvey, and all of those things were, not minimizing any of those, but the difference between all of those and this is Harvey had a finite end date. Katrina had a finite end date. 9/11 had a finite ending. We continue to live through this, and it continues to be dynamic. And so as we adjust, we're continually having to adjust and modify our playbooks. The one thing that I'll say that's been great working with the other leaders here at HCC is how flexible everyone has been. We're making the best decisions that we can given all of the information that we have at that time. But you mentioned 2 months of working from home or working remotely. Think about the information we have now that we didn't have on March 13th. Think about the information that we've become privy to. That changes your decision making. But again, we made the best decisions that we could at the time, and we'll continue to do that. Again, when one of the first things that we did at Northeast is we came together as a leadership team and we agreed on our guiding principles. So the guiding principles were 5 things that we looked at to say, what will be our North Star? So one of those was making sure that as we make decisions that we're always considering the most vulnerable in our populations. Another one is flexibility. We have to continue to be flexible to adapt to this dynamic environment. Another thing that was core in our guiding principles was learning agility. We understand that now more than ever, we have to teach our students as if their futures depend on it. So we have to make sure that the degrees and certifications that we are providing lead to family sustaining wages. We know the students come to us looking for a higher quality of life. And so we want to make sure that we are continuing to be nimble and think of new ways to offer training and education in a way that will help them take care of their families with dignity. So that requires us to be flexible and adaptable and, consider the needs of all of our students and also each other. Another thing that I love that our team came up with is they wanted to make sure that we did not lose the great dynamics, our strong team dynamics. We had built a very strong, cohesive team and strong dynamics. So we wanted to make sure that as we continue, we never lose sight of that. So that's part of why we have the virtual coffee breaks every week, and it gives everybody a chance to check in. I'll never forget, one of my best memories was the week of my birthday. They hijacked our virtual coffee break, and they totally surprised me. They had a cake and candles, and they sang, and we just had fun together. And on Mother's Day, this past weekend, we asked everybody to bring their family members in. Their family members are living through this with us. So to see the kids, to see the spouses, we're learning things about each other that we never would have known in our previous environment. And we'll take these things with us when we go back to the office as well.
Dr. Umphrey, I'm going to ask you, do you have I know you mentioned a whole lot in there, and you've certainly touched on some great points. One thing I keep hearing as a reoccurring theme is the fact of being flexible during this. For the students and for the faculty and staff, we all kind of have to be flexible during this crisis because one of your counterparts, he put it in a very great manner. I believe it was Dr. Nicotera told me that this is kind of like flying a plane, but building it as you're flying it. And it's like, yeah, we're all learning new things. But do you have a message to your students that you'd like to get out, particularly to the students of the Northeast College, while they're out and learning virtually online?
Absolutely. So most of us, as we grew up, we heard about people that were very intelligent. We heard this person had a high IQ or that person had a high IQ. And over the last 5 to 10 years, you've heard more about EQ, emotional intelligence. So there's been more conversation about people being self-aware. I think this next 5 to 10 years is going to be very interesting in COVID. We talked about the future of work a lot in our conversations about learning agility, and that's teaching our students as if their future depends on it. When we talk about the future of work, we thought we had 3 to 5 years, but COVID accelerated everything. It put everything on fast forward. So as we prepare for this world or prepare our students to go out into this world, I want them to understand that IQ, although it's important, you can't change that. EQ, you need to be self-aware, but I think one of the determining factors for leaders in the future is going to be AQ, your adaptability quotient. Now more than ever before, your ability to shift and pivot is going to be critical. Remember, I said there's no playbook for COVID-19. Nobody can tell you, you could bring some consultants in to give you some advice, but it's all theoretical at this point. So it's going, the people who are resourceful. So, as I think about our first generation college students, I'm especially encouraged about them and excited about them because who else is more resourceful than a first generation college student to be able to navigate the world of higher ed without a glossary, without a playbook, and figure that out by yourself. You're quite resourceful and you've had to pivot quite a bit. And if you're a first generation college student, you understand exactly what I mean. We higher ed things to death, give things more complicated names and, tell them to go to the registrar. They're like, who? Anyway, but as they navigate this world, that resourcefulness that they have will serve them well because in this world with COVID, I mentioned it's not over. And so depending on who you talk to, it could be a year, it could be 18 months. But as we navigate this world, the one thing that we do know is that no one yet understands the emotional, physical, economic impacts of COVID-19. And it's going to hit us in so many ways we still have not anticipated. But with that, it's going to require us to be extremely flexible and adaptable. And those that are most adaptable will thrive, not just survive, but thrive in this environment. So in the past, you may have been, people may have considered you one of the underrepresented groups. This group is not represented well here, or there are only few women here, or you name it. We've got, it could be ableism. We've got all these things, and we're not even going to start with intersectionality. But when you think about the ways that someone could be underestimated, just because they're underrepresented, I think a lot of times people are underestimated. And that doesn't mean that they're not capable. It just means that their particular brand of brilliance or genius or leadership may not come in a package that you're used to. And just because it's not in a package that someone is looking for, I was amazed the first time I saw research studies that showed that better looking people get paid more and get promoted quicker. I'm like, what in the world? But people tend to look at a package and say, that's a leader. And now, like I said, for those that are adaptable and flexible, they will be the ones best suited to lead through this crisis. So I just want to remind all of our students that you are enough. The fact that you're here and the fact that you have persevered and the fact that you're looking for a better life, you're already ready and you're on your way to greatness. And we're excited. We're cheering for you. We're your biggest cheerleaders here at Northeast and at HCC. So we're excited about what you're going to do. And we can't wait to see you go out and be a strong leader and a strong contributor in Houston and beyond. So we're really excited about this moment. I guess the biggest thing for me is that as we look at the future, some people feel like the future happens to us. I feel like we're creating the future at this moment. So we're shaping our future. So we have advocacy in this.
Dr. Monique Umphrey, the president of HCC Northeast College, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure speaking with you this morning. We look forward to seeing you again. Stay safe.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you. And right now we're going to talk about HCC's version of Shark Tank. Dr. Angela Anderson, she's an instructor at HCC Northwest. She was a creator of Shark Tank HCCS Edition. And Ruth Salisbury, instructor from HCC Southwest. Welcome to you both here. Glad to have you with us on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, glad to be here.
I'm going to ask you, Dr. Anderson, people are wondering, what is the HCC version of Shark Tank? Tell us about this.
Well, HCC Shark Tank, HCCS Shark Tank, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Sometimes I get confused because, I've got quarantine brain.
Yeah.
But I will say this, the Shark Tank project is a capstone project that we have. It's an academically based project that hits all of our course objectives for our students. It's just a different way of learning and bringing together everything that we do in that class and giving some real world experience to our students. We bring in mentors from the community to come in and teach SWOT analysis, or how to develop a budget, or how to develop your marketing strategy. And these kids, our students, get in there. At first they're saying, okay, so this is just a project for class. And then they take ownership of it. And that flip is the most amazing thing that you'll ever see, because they start to believe in the projects that they're developing. And when they do their presentations, they actually take ownership of it. And they walk out a different student than they were when they walked into the class, especially those who internalize what we do with this project.
It sounds like kind of what Dr. Umphrey was talking about. Our students are going to be innovators, and they're going to be the leaders. And this is kind of generating them or setting them up to do that and teaching them innovation and leadership.
It really is. It really is. You've got to be able to be flexible. You've got to be able to adapt. You've got to be able to learn how to bend like a willow and not break like a twig. And in this project, this helps you do that, because you've got to think through the process. You can't skip around. It's like step by step. I've got to figure out, what is the project? Why do we need to do it? What do we hope to gain other than monetary fulfillment from this? How does this serve our population? What population are you looking for? How do we reach that? So it gets them to start doing that problem solving and say, okay, we can only do it like this. This doesn't work for us. And when they start seeing themselves as business owners, it changes how they see themselves beyond the classroom. I've had several students who've gone on to different institutions, different universities, and have used what they've learned in the classroom to help them get better jobs, show that they've already written a business plan, because it's a comprehensive business plan that they have to develop, and it's written with the help of the sharks that come into the classroom.
And I know you're working with the Entrepreneurial Initiatives Program. Tell us about your involvement with that.
The director, Maya, she is the most awesome person that you ever want to work with. She was there for our inaugural competition, and she's the one she provided for us the scholarship money for our students. And from there, we have developed a wonderful working collaborative relationship to act as a conduit for our students who want to go beyond the classroom and go into the Entrepreneur Center and take their projects with them and get additional work and training and mentorship from those from the business community that we have working with the Entrepreneur Center. And I think this particular partnership can do nothing more than just grow and give additional students the opportunities that they may never have had or never have.
And Ruth, let me ask you a question, because I know this is a competition,
Yes.
But has it been rescheduled? Are you going to work online? How is it looking right now?
So the original plan had been to do this in the spring, and we were going to do it getting close to the end of the semester, towards the end of April. But obviously, of course, life happened to all of us, and we had to readjust and plan. So the new date is July 18th. And we're going to hold it completely virtually. So we're also, a lot what Dr. Humphreys was talking about, we're entering into new territory now. That it's a new reality. I wanted to be able to provide competition, but still be able to adjust to this new reality. So for the first time, the competition will be completely online, and it will also be the sharks will be there virtually, and the students will be participating virtually. And it'll still be the full day competition, and we hope that everybody's had the chance to adjust to be able to still bring forth their best projects and their best presentations with this new reality that we're going to be doing. We'll be commanding it from West Loop Center, if possible. We'll see if they open campuses, but for now, the new date is July 18th, and the competition will begin at 9 in the morning. And we will have the students go through their projects, and hopefully by the end of the day, we'll have the best projects rise to the top.
And will anyone be able to watch this online? Will it be a link that's open? How will that work, and how can people register? What's the deadline for it as well?
Yeah, so the website as of now is open, and the flyer that we have put out provides you with the registration link, as well as the WebEx videos and training links that will go along with it. Once the competition begins, it will go live. So anyone in the HCC community is more than welcome to join us. Of course, obviously, it would have been great to have everybody there in person live to see the competition, but you will absolutely be able to go on to and see it live once the competition begins. And anyone interested in registering and can go to the Center of Entrepreneurship website, as well as to the speech department website, and get the flyer and download the registration site. And once you go in, it's fully service free to go in there and do that for our students, and they'll be able to enter their competition entries and get going.
Dr. Anderson, one of the big things that makes Shark Tank a big deal, a good show, are the sharks themselves, because their personalities. Tell us about some of the sharks you have on this year.
Well, this year we had Chef Charles Clark. He is an entrepreneur, restaurateur in the city of Houston, very, very successful gentleman. He really came in and gave a lot of great information for our students. We've had Mr. Troy Maxwell, who is a land developer in the Katy area. He came in. We had Mr. Robert Rutherford, who was a banker, with Mr. Arlen Potts, who was a banker, Mr. Will Hubbard, who is in marketing and communications. I could go on.
Right.
But the people that come in, and we've had we were supposed to have Miss Booker Lynn Graves come in talking about your professional persona, but life happened. Those sharks come in, they take ownership of our kids, and they make themselves available. Can I call me? Here's my card. Here's my email. This is my personal cell phone. Do not call me after midnight, but call me if you need my help. And they actually sit there and go, let me look at your portfolio. This doesn't make sense. Let's try it again. And they're gentle with our kids, but they're realistic with our students. So they know life is not going to be easy, but you got to get it right. And let's go ahead and get it right now.
It sounds like a great competition, and it sounds like it's going to be a big hit for you guys this year. You're going online, as we all are, but we're looking forward to seeing it when you guys are out there. Once again, I've got a website address, hccs.edu/pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
hccs.edu/pitch. That'll be in the social media for this show as well, so folks can go register now, and the competition takes place July the 18th.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Duplantis, may I ask you something? Would you be interested in being one of our sharks?
You know, I can't say I'm the best business person, but I'd be more than happy to help you guys out. Absolutely. You can count me in to work with your folks.
Well, then, you know what? Because you said that, next time we meet in person, I will give you your very own shark pen.
That's right.
Not everybody has a shark pen. And Brittany, you're welcome to come. Come on too. We get some diversity here. So if you want to come, so that way you can walk around with your own shark pen and just be awesome.
I love to be a shark, chomp, chomp.
Chomp, chomp. And we do not sing Baby Shark. We do not sing Baby Shark.
No, please no.
We do Land Shark, though. We do the Land Shark, though. But,
Dr. Anderson and Ruth, we appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for joining us for the show. And you know how to get a hold of me, so I look forward to working with you guys.
Oh,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you again for having us.
Thank you for having us. Take care.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, Brittany, welcome back to the show. It looks like I'm going to be a shark now.
Well, I always thought you were, Todd. I mean, no, just kidding. That's an exciting opportunity. And I think it's great that the students get to have this experience through these wonderful people. I mean, what a way to show off your creative ideas. Come on.
It really is, and it just shows how many things HCC is really doing right now. And as I mentioned, life goes on, things shut down, but we're all working online. So what do? They take the competition online, Don't skip a beat. Let's just move forward. They had to rearrange the dates of it, but they were able to do so. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and it just shows how we all have to be adaptable in this time. Think about these virtual art galleries that have moved to Instagram, for example. You know, we normally see these in person, and however, we're still going to be able to view these works of art, but again, through Instagram. So it just shows the initiative to be, innovative. It's one of our hot words here at HCC, to be innovative. So I think it's just great that we're able to be that flexible and adapt and do what we do.
Brittany, Memorial Day is approaching. It's the weekend after next, and it's a reminder that it's a little more than just a week away. We'll not be airing the show on the Monday of Memorial Day. That's Monday, May the 25th. So we're all going to take a little bit of a break. Are you going out of town that weekend, or are you going to be around?
No, I'll most likely be home, or if anything, maybe visiting my parents again, or doing something with my puppy. We've taken her to a little dog swimming place, so if they're open, we might just take her there.
I was going to ask, you think they'll be open for Memorial Day?
You know what? We'll have to wait and see. I'm working with the owner doing some freelance stuff, and we'll see what happens.
Cool. So that's happening. Memorial Day, we're off Monday, the May 25th. But the big thing is going on is graduation. We have a virtual graduation May the 22nd. And students, if you want information on that, you can visit hccs.edu. hccs.edu/graduation. And that's information will be in on the social media post as well. Free COVID testing at HCC Southeast, Brittany.
Absolutely, Todd. So we're very close to the end of this free COVID testing that's happening at our East Side campus. We're, like I said, just one day away. Tomorrow, May 15th is the deadline. So if you are interested in being tested, this is open to our community, the entire public. It's not just for HCC faculty, staff, and students. You can go to the East Side campus that's located at 6815 Rustic in the parking garage from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is today, Thursday, May 14th, and tomorrow, Friday, May 15th. After that, they're not going to be available anymore. So you do not need an appointment. You also don't need to be showing any symptoms, but if you feel that you or your family members need to be tested, this is a great opportunity to go and be tested.
And one thing to keep in mind, students, if you're going to be taking classes over the summer or in the fall, now is the time to register. If you want to get the classes you need, register now, especially for the fall. Summer classes are online. Fall classes, we're hoping to be back in the buildings in some fashion, some shape or form. That's to be determined and will be announced. But one way or another, we'll have classes, and you can register for all of those at hccs.edu/now. Brittany, we're about running out of time, though.
I know, we certainly are, Todd, but join us again tomorrow at 10 a.m. On Facebook Live, and this podcast will also be showing up on our YouTube channel, so be sure to go over, subscribe to that channel, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning.
So, Brittany, we do have a special guest tomorrow, and I want you to be on your best behavior and don't be asking any goofy questions. My brother's going to be on the show.
Oh, all the goofy questions are coming out. I want to know.
Probably have a few
personal details. I want to know lots of personal childhood details.
But no, my brother is a dentist in the Dallas area, and they've had to change their practice due to COVID. HCC has a dental school, so we're going to talk about the future of dentistry, especially as we're facing this COVID crisis, because they made a lot of changes. They went through some changes, and we'll get updated on that tomorrow. And of course, it's Friday, means a visit by Michael Garfield, the high-tech Texan. All that and more tomorrow on Up to the Minute. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Todd Duplantis. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.